What's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a FWC big key type beat step by step. Let's get right into it. Now the BPM for these beats is usually around, I would say 90 to I would say like 105. If you're in double time, I would say probably the equivalent of 180 to 210. But I work in halftime, so I'm going to put my BPM 101. Now the first thing I do is I go into Nexus and I get a good piano preset out of there. My favorite is this ballad grand piano. What you're going to do when you get into the piano roll is you're going to go to this top left arrow. You're going to scroll down to view. You're going to go to scale highlighting and you're going to click on black notes, minor natural, and click on any of these notes. I'm going to do F sharp. Now, when making these melodies, the main thing that the FWC / Cash Gang kind of beats have is like these piano stabs. How you make those is you go to, you could do them in the 5th, 4th, or 6th octave. I personally like the 4th octave because it sounds a lot more grimy. And all you're going to do is go 2 up from the previous note in the scale. So you'll skip this one and you'll go to A, then you'll skip the B and go to C sharp. So that's going to create a minor chord. Now, all you need to do now is if you're in halftime, you should be on step. I forgot to add, if you are in double time, you should be in 1/2 beat. Now, the best way to do this is literally just highlight this with control, hold shift while you're dragging this over, and just move the middle note. That's it. So I'm just going to hold shift again and drag this over. And you can play around with any of these notes. Any of these notes in scale would work. I'm going to make a chord like this, and I'm going like it already has that feel. Now I'm going to do Alt R. I'm going to randomize the velocity. When you first pull it up, it might look like this. Just X out the pattern, click the drop down arrow, and make sure you're using the knob of velocity, knob of panning. Press accept. And what this does is humanizes the piano so it's not sounding so like computerized. So this is what it sounds like. Gives it a human feel. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to copy this over by holding right click from the 2 and dragging over 1 and then doing Control B 3 times. To clone this, I'm going to put down some bass notes. These bass notes are super simple. Just go to your root and extend the note 1 full bar, hold control and highlight over this, and then hold alt and use your scroll wheel to scroll up and have the velocity turned all the way up, because pianos act different, especially in Nexus. When the velocity is turned up, they hit with kind of more of an impact point instead of feeling all like soft. Want it to feel soft, obviously you can have your velocity down. That is completely up to personal preference. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this 2 octaves down so it can hit in the 2nd octave and kind of have that bassy feel to it. Hold control and press the down arrow twice, and I'm going to do Control B times. What this should sound like. Going to clone this piano again. Using the same bowed grand piano. Now we're going to make a top fast piano melody, kind of like what you hear, I would say, kind of like in some T Grizzly Sada Baby beats. Sometimes FWC beats do this. I personally like it when they do this. So when you're doing these fast piano melodies, the best thing to do is use the root in any of these half steps. They all work. Just make something. Feel free to do Alt R again to randomize these velocities. Hold Alt and scroll down to kind of the velocity of the top melody, not too harsh. Yep, now I'm going to do Control B 7 times, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to fill out the rest of the bars. chord. I'm going to scroll down, open up Nexus 2, and go to voice and go to classical chord. This is my favorite chord, or choir, however you say it, that I use. Now all I'm going to do is copy the chords and I'm going to elongate them. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on this rectangle. I'm going to do Control C and Control V on my chord. I'm going to go into the piano roll. You could click this to go in the piano roll, or you can right click and roll. It's up to you. And you can do Control L to elongate all these. You might just need to elongate the last note, and you can play around with the octaves. I'm going to make it an octave up, so Control up arrow. I'm going to add a flute. I'm going to go into expand. I'm going to go into ethnic. Shout out Run It Back Taz for showing me this preset, Life Changer. It's called, I think it's called, I'm going to butcher this name, Ocarina, I think it's called. So basically the same principles apply to loop. You're going to want to use the root note in half steps. I like how it sounds in the 7th octave. I'm going to hold Alt and hit this with left click to Alt velocity. That's how they usually sound in these beats. Alt R to randomize velocities. To do the drums. Again, if you're in halftime, it's the first red box of each snare. Double it, second gray. My hit kind of slides, so I'm going to put the hit one box before it would actually. My hi-hats, drag them all across. Leave these last 4 kind of. My chant, probably at the 3. When I'm saying the 3, I'm meaning. You can kind of create your own bounce, same kind of thing like how the chords were. So I might do a triple bounce. Kind of hear this in like West Coast production. I think it sounds dope when it's on Detroit beats as well. I'm actually gonna cut out these last snares just to have the hit kind of like enunciate like the ending, like the suspense kind of. I'm gonna add the shaker, the same trick I did in the last video. This time I might not use it like that, but basically what I was explaining, you could put the shaker right before the open hat and it'll kind of have like a little like kind of slide feel. That's a really good thing I came up with, just playing around. I'm adding a bell too. I forgot to do that. Basically with the bell, just follow the root note. I would just hit it at every single bar. Again, to adjust those velocities, I highlight them with control and do all. I'm going to do a 808. Now with your 808, make sure your 808 is in key. If it is not, you can go into Edison, I believe. Left click on your sound, you do Control E. Right click on this, you do regions, pitch regions. It'll tell you what your 808 is in. Mine is in F2, but I already have it in F. So we're going to follow the same kind of bounce with this. By the way, sometimes these half steps work well. So anything half steps work. Double click any of the rectangles to highlight them all, and then go insert one on your mixer, which is the here. Go to the insert one, do channel routing, and do route selected channel starting from this track. We'll have them all labeled. Now hold control to drag over all these and level them all the way down. Next thing I'm going to add is my master preset, which is just 3 soft clippers on top of each other. To kind of just louden everything. And then how I level these is I will play the beat up here. You see it's going, and I will just make sure I'm leveling. There's no certain way to do this. It's kind of by your ear. I use. So I'm going to solo this mixer by holding control and just left clicking on it, and I'm going to throw a EQ on there. I'm going to knock out some of the lows. Not too harshly though, just kind of have it roll off. Kind of keep some of that low in. If you want to cut literally everything out, then you can scroll on this and have it roll off. Or you could right click on this, have it be high pass. Basically, I'm just gonna throw a parametric EQ. 2 on all of these and just pass. This is all by ear too. It's not really a set way you use. By the way, if you want to reset anything to default, just hold Alt and just left click on it. Now the 808 has space. With your 808s as well, I would merge them, which is this purple. Don't drag to the blue, drag to the purple 100%. And should be all set with your I'm going to right click on this and split by channel. I'm going to hold shift, click on the first and last one, and drag this on to the playlist. I'm going to hold control and highlight all of these and paste this all the way over to 3 using control B. And for this, I'm going to do a different type of intro. I'm going to take all the drums out besides the hit. And take out the fast piano, the core, and the do that again, but have all the melodic elements. I'm going to do that again, but have all the melodic elements. Actually, I might have this core come in. Too. Just play around with the arrangement, however you like it. One thing I would recommend, at least have a bass note playing in all of them. Do not ever leave a spot without a bass note in it, or else your melody won't sound as full. These 808 patterns. Left click on the piano little icon on the top of the pattern, top left, to make unique. I'm going to go into here by double clicking, and I'm going to add little kind of I guess bounce notes, which all you do is just add where you think, add another 808 right next to one, and use the scroll wheel to decrease the velocity down enough to where it's not literally smacking every single time you put the weight, so it's kind of gonna create that groovy feel. Copy these over, so each 8 bars that the 808 hits, it switches. And then on this one right here, I'm going to do what they call a breakdown. I'm going to take out the snare and the hi-hats, and now I'm going to do a breakdown. So basically, I will show you what that for the velocity. And I'm going to play with the velocities again. Basically what a breakdown is basically what it is it'll hit kind of like steps. I'll show you what I mean by that. Paste it over. I'm gonna control B this over 3 times again. this stuff over here. You can use the half steps, remember, like I said. We're right here. I'm going to face this over and do 4 on this half step. These half steps right here, which is right together in the scale, always will work. I'm just going to copy this over where the 808 starts. One time and put my tag on it.
Damn, Donnie made this?
Click on this here. Right click, route selected channel track. My tag preset over it, which is just a EQ and a fruity delay bank on for timing.
Donnie made this?
And here is the goal.
Donnie made this?